More than 4 decades have passed since Growing Pains first introduced us to the Seaver family, and the cast's real lives brought 2 devastating deaths, a religious transformation that divided Hollywood, multiple addiction battles, and one of the most unexpected career pivots in sitcom history. Let's see where they are in 2026.
Number 1. Alan Thicke as Dr. Jason Seaver. Born in 1947, Alan was 37 years old when he stepped into the role of Jason Seaver, the warm, patient psychiatrist dad who somehow kept the chaos of the Seaver household together, and he played the part with such natural authority that it was impossible to imagine anyone else in the role. He was already a major figure in Canadian entertainment before Growing Pains, having hosted talk shows and written theme songs for other popular sitcoms, including Different Strokes and The Facts of Life. After Growing Pains, Alan never stopped working. He became one of the most in-demand sitcom guest stars of the 2000s and 2010s, with memorable appearances on How I Met Your Mother and a recurring role on Fuller House. He was still tweeting about Fuller House the morning of December 13th, 2016. That afternoon, Alan and his 19-year-old son Carter were playing ice hockey together at the Pickwick Gardens rink in Burbank, something they did regularly. Around 11 in the morning, Alan complained of chest pain. A short while later, he vomited. As paramedics arrived and began wheeling him out of the rink on a stretcher, Alan turned to Carter and said, "Make sure you get the rink in the background." He was joking. He was laughing. Those were among the last words he ever spoke. Alan Thicke died at Providence St. Joseph's Medical Center of a ruptured aorta, a type A aortic dissection, the same condition that had killed John Ritter 13 years earlier. He was 69 years old. His son Robin, who called his father the best man he ever knew, was overcome with grief at the funeral days later.
Number 2. Andrew Koenig as Richard Boner Stabone. Born in 1968, Andrew was 16 when he began appearing as Boner, Mike Seaver's best friend, the lovable sidekick who appeared in 85 episodes across the show's run. He was the son of Walter Koenig, who played Chekhov in the original Star Trek series, and grew up surrounded by entertainment. But behind the affable, funny character he played on screen, Andrew Koenig was dealing with a much darker reality. He had battled depression for most of his adult life, and in the years after Growing Pains ended, he largely stepped away from mainstream acting, becoming involved in documentary filmmaking, human rights activism, and comedy improv. He had stopped taking his medication for depression approximately a year before his disappearance. On February 14th, 2010, Andrew was visiting friends in West Vancouver, Canada, a city he loved for its nature and quiet. He was scheduled to fly home to Los Angeles on February 16th. He never boarded the plane. His parents reported him missing days later and flew to Vancouver to help with the search. On February 25th, 2010, Andrew's body was found by friends and family members in Stanley Park, one of the most beautiful urban parks in North America, and a place he had always loved. He was 41 years old. His father, Walter, stood before cameras in the park and said simply, "My son took his own life." He asked anyone else who was in pain to talk to someone. "There are people who really care," he said. "You may not think so, but there are."
Number 4. Kirk Cameron as Mike Seaver. Born in 1970, Kirk was just 14 years old when he became Mike Seaver, the charming, scheme-hatching, impossibly handsome teenage son who made Kirk Cameron a genuine phenomenon. By his mid-teens, he was on the cover of every teen magazine in America and was one of the most recognizable faces on television. At the height of his fame, he openly told an interviewer that he was an atheist and that belief in God was, in his words, performing a self-lobotomy. Then, at around 17 years old, everything changed. Kirk became a born-again Christian, and his transformation was total and rapid. He began pushing for Growing Pains storylines to be rewritten to remove what he considered inappropriate content. He insisted that a female castmate who had posed in Playboy be removed from the show. She was. By the show's final seasons, the tension between Kirk's religious convictions and the rest of the cast was significant. After Growing Pains, Kirk walked away from mainstream Hollywood entirely. He starred in the Left Behind Christian film series, co-founded an evangelical ministry called The Way of the Master, and became one of the most prominent conservative Christian voices in American public life. He has been married to actress Chelsea Noble, who played his girlfriend in the show's later seasons, since 1991, and they have 6 children together. Now 55 years old, Kirk Cameron is a figure who generates strong reactions, but one thing is undeniable. The transformation from the boy on those magazine covers to who he is today is one of the most complete reinventions in Hollywood history.
Number 4. Tracey Gold as Carol Seaver. Born in 1969, Tracey was 15 when she became Carol Seaver, the brainy, overachieving middle child who served as the show's moral anchor alongside her father. She was a natural on screen, deeply likable, and her chemistry with the whole cast was genuine. But even as she was playing Carol, Tracey was fighting a battle that was becoming impossible to hide. She had first been diagnosed with anorexia nervosa at the age of 11. She maintained a stable weight as a teenager, but by her early 20s, the eating disorder had taken hold again. And by 1992, her weight had dropped to a point that alarmed everyone around her. The show wrote her character out temporarily, sending Carol to study in London to give Tracey time to get treatment. She recovered and later starred in the TV film For the Love of Nancy, in which she played a young woman's battle with anorexia and used her own experience to tell the story honestly. But in September 2004, Tracey's life made headlines for a different reason. She was behind the wheel of her SUV on a California highway near midnight with her husband and 3 young sons in the car when the vehicle veered off the road and rolled down an embankment. Her 7-year-old son suffered a broken collarbone and a head laceration. She was arrested for felony DUI causing injury. She pleaded guilty, received 3 years probation and 240 hours of community service, and immediately began speaking to high school students about the dangers of drunk driving. Now 56 years old, Tracey Gold has continued acting steadily in TV movies, remains a vocal advocate for eating disorder awareness, and is married with 4 sons.
Number 5. Jeremy Miller as Ben Seaver. Born in 1976, Jeremy was just 9 years old when he joined Growing Pains as the youngest Seaver child, Ben, the little brother whose combination of innocence and mischief gave the show some of its most genuinely funny moments. He appeared in all 7 seasons and reprised the role in 2 reunion TV movies. But when the cameras stopped, Jeremy Miller discovered something that would define the next 2 decades of his life. He couldn't stop drinking. He has said the seeds were planted at age 4, when he used to go around tables at family parties drinking leftover beer. By the time Growing Pains ended, the binge drinking had taken over. He would start every morning at the liquor store and drink until he blacked out. His 3 sons were afraid of him. In his darkest moments, he contemplated ending his life. He tried every form of treatment he could find. Inpatient rehab, outpatient rehab, hypnosis, herbal therapy, and nothing worked. What finally helped was a medically implanted slow-release form of the drug naltrexone that eliminated his cravings almost immediately. He has described it as someone flicking off a light switch. Jeremy Miller has been sober since 2011. He is now 49 years old, a speaker, a recovery advocate, and co-author of a book about his journey. He calls it the greatest blessing of his life.
Number 6. Joanna Kerns as Maggie Seaver. Born in 1953, Joanna was 31 when she became Maggie Seaver, the working journalist mom who returned to her career while her psychiatrist husband held the home together, a setup that felt genuinely modern for an 80s sitcom. Joanna was the emotional steadiness of the whole show, and off-screen, she was something of a mother figure to the younger cast members. It was Joanna who introduced Tracey Gold to her future husband. Before acting, Joanna had competed in gymnastics at the 1968 Olympic trials, finishing 14th. Her older sister is Olympic gold medal swimmer Donna de Verona. After Growing Pains, Joanna could have spent a decade doing TV movies and reunion specials. She chose something more interesting. She moved behind the camera and built one of the most impressive directing careers of any actor to come out of 80s television. She has directed episodes of Grey's Anatomy, This Is Us, Scrubs, Pretty Little Liars, Dawson's Creek, Fuller House, ER, Switched at Birth, and dozens more. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2016, fought through it, and kept working. In 2019, she divorced her husband of 25 years. Now 73 years old, Joanna Kerns is busier behind the camera than most directors half her age.
Number 7. Leonardo DiCaprio as Luke Brower. Born in 1974, Leonardo DiCaprio was 17 years old when he joined Growing Pains in its 7th and final season as Luke Brower, a homeless teenager taken in by the Seaver family. He appeared in 23 episodes. Most people who love this show have completely forgotten he was in it. Within 3 years of leaving Growing Pains, Leonardo DiCaprio had received his first Academy Award nomination for What's Eating Gilbert Grape, appeared in Romeo plus Juliet, and become the biggest movie star on the planet when Titanic became the highest grossing film in history. Now 51 years old in 2026, Leonardo DiCaprio has won the Academy Award for Best Actor, starred in a staggering list of acclaimed films, and is one of the most celebrated actors of his generation. The boy who played a homeless kid in the Seaver house for one season turned out to be the most famous person who ever appeared on Growing Pains, by a very significant margin.
Alan Thicke, gone at 69, joking with his son right until the very end. Andrew Koenig, gone at 41, in a park he loved, after a battle with depression that lasted most of his adult life. Two very different endings for two people who were both part of the same television family for years. And the rest of the cast? Kirk Cameron's total reinvention, Tracey Gold's survival, Jeremy Miller's road back, Joanna Kerns' remarkable second career, and Leonardo DiCaprio going on to become, well, Leonardo DiCaprio. Growing Pains was supposed to be a show about a family navigating ordinary life. The real lives it launched turned out to be anything but ordinary. Which cast member's story surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments below. And if you want more stories like this from the shows you grew up with, subscribe. We have so much more coming.